Well, the euro is in trouble. And when someone or something is in trouble, someone's going to come to the rescue, right? Be Superman here? Well, that someone might just be American taxpayers. At least that's what radio host Alex Jones says. Apparently, it's all part of the IMF's new bailout package. But where is all this money actually going? Is it going to the European banks or perhaps the people who need it most? Alex Jones is in Texas right now, and he joins me to break all of this down for us. Hi there, Alex. So according to the AP, the Federal Reserve opened a program late Sunday to ship U.S. dollars to Europe in an effort to avoid a broader financial crisis on the continent. What is this program, and where is the money essentially going?
Well, it's $1 trillion. Remember, it was going to be $150 billion last week. Then it was $600 billion. Now it's $1 trillion or more today. It may be $2 trillion or $3 trillion. I mean, why not? Just like we had the financial terrorism of 2008, where Henry Paulson and other people from Goldman Sachs who were controlling the federal government went in and threatened Congress with total financial collapse and, quote, martial law if they didn't give them a blank check. The same thing has now been done in Europe, and they're not really saying where the money is going to go, other than these nations are going to have to pay off the private banks like Goldman Sachs, J.P. Morgan Chase, and others. And again, these banks with derivatives made up tens of trillions of basically toxic assets that weren't real. They sold them at full price. Now the governments own these and are in big financial trouble, so they're telling people in Italy, the population of Greece, they're now telling folks in Germany, they're telling people in Portugal and Spain, we're going to have to take all or part of your pension funds to pay for this bailout. But it's not really a bailout. It is a mass robbery. And the people of the United States are going to have to pay for large amounts of this IMF and World Bank money. And so this is just the greatest crime of history. The private banking cartels are getting away with it. So why shouldn't they just, get away with more of it? This is financial terrorism. And when the United States Congress wouldn't go along with this last week, and when some European leaders like Merkel were saying that the banks are deceptive and treacherous and criminal because she was worried about getting kicked out of office, suddenly the market dropped by 1,000 points. And they've now admitted that wasn't a fat finger, that wasn't a miscalculation. That was these black boxes that some of the larger brokerage houses and the plunge protection team through the White House have. They went in and drove it down 1,000 points in just 15 minutes to create a panic in Congress. And so Congress dumped the legislation to audit the Fed and to pass legislation to get rid of too big to fail. So the whole world is held hostage by these private central banks. And so they're just financially conquering nation after nation. Hell, Greece gave in to being taken over, so why not ask for $1 trillion? Why not ask for $10 trillion?
Well, Alex, you mentioned the links here to the United States Congress, but does this bailout have anything to do with the meeting of the Tri-lateral Commission this weekend in Europe? And I also want you to tell our audience what this meeting is, who's part of it, and what's likely to come out of it.
Boy, that is a great question. What you have is the Tri-lateral Commission that was set up in 1973 by Zbigniew Brzezinski, David Rockefeller, and others, and its open stated aim was a global government run for the administrative convenience of private central bankers. And they are a private meeting of what you'd call the G20, a private banking cartel who meets, and they decide how to coordinate the different currencies and debt and the economy. And so they've now announced it is the private global government. It is the inner financial management team of the Bilderberg Group, of the private shadow government. And they met in Dublin, and folks over there in Ireland got in their face. We actually have that video up at Infowars.com, and told David Rockefeller, we're not giving in to your world government. We're not your slaves. And Rockefeller looked very upset. They then snuck into the meeting and confronted him at his dinner table and told him the same thing. In fact, that was done by the Sovereign Independent. That's the name of the newspaper there in Dublin. That's got these patriots that are out there confronting them. And so what happens is you'll see an article in Australia, secret bank heads meet, Or you'll see articles about secretive Tri-lateral Commission meets, and they always meet at key times before the big announcements are made. You know, they're telling us last week it's 150 billion. The Tri-lateral Commission meets, basically sets the agenda. All the major finance ministers were there, their bosses were there, and then suddenly we're told Monday morning, hey, it's $1 trillion, maybe more. We're the government. You have no say in America or in Germany or in Greece or in Spain or Portugal or in England. Sit down and shut up. And we've made the decision Gordon Brown's going to step down. Step down. We've got a new puppet. This is the real government worldwide.
And Alex, not so secretive anymore, because we have you there in Texas not sitting down and shutting up. Always good to have your analysis. Alex Jones, radio host, live there for us in Texas.